Clemenza comedy show. I'm your host, Pepino, and we have a very special guest today, Miss Chelsea Lesage. How are you today, Chelsea?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing very well. How's it going?
Good, good. Trying to make that money.
I understand.
So I hear you're a model.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I've been modeling on and off since the age of 14, and now I am doing it full time. It is an adventure.
Sounds like an adventure.
Never a dull moment, and can be very exquisite and can be very, very hard. Yes, but always fun.
How can modeling be hard? Explain that to the people who don't know about modeling.
Okay, so
like
there's the constant pressure to, look a certain way, act a certain way. There's people expect you to maintain a certain body weight, or a lot of times girls take it too seriously. They're too young and they take it too seriously, and that could be just dangerous for
Definitely
the rest of their careers. Yes.
Definitely mentally hard job.
Yes, it is. Exactly.
Can you? I was thinking about modeling. You know if Baby Gap is hiring?
Yeah, I think you'd be perfect for Baby Gap. I thought of that the first time I met you. I was like, put that man in a diaper. It'll be really great.
Maybe Oscar Spagas.
Yes, or you could be like the new Gerber baby.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, yeah. You have a bright future ahead of you with that.
I think modeling is something I might consider.
Yeah, I'll talk to my manager. I'll let you know.
Definitely. So, one thing I like to do on the show is collect drunk stories.
Great.
So, tell me a drunk story.
Okay, do you want one pertaining to when I've been modeling or been expecting to be modeling? Because I have some of those, and then I also
think a model drunk story sounds good. Let's get one model drunk story and one bar drunk story.
Okay, fantastic. So this was actually just last weekend. I was on a shoot down in the Florida Keys for Bahamas catamaran charters, and they're really awesome. And they are trying to sell this new beautiful yacht, and so they had me come down, and I'm just standing out on the bow, and we're sailing in the middle of the Atlantic, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and my job was so easy. They just were like, keep drinking champagne until we get the shot. Just keep drinking champagne. I think I drank like a bottle and a half of champagne before they were satisfied, and it was hot out, and I mean, look at my complexion, look at my hair. I can't be out in the sun very long, or I just become a lobster. So I just kept drinking to stay hydrated, and there was a storm coming, but the waters were fine, but then there was a giant cruise ship that went by us, and one wave knocked into the yacht and just completely knocked me over.
Oh, damn.
And it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had so much to drink. So that was my most recent modeling drunken adventure. But usually they don't want you to drink while you're working.
Yeah.
But they can hire me again any day. But as far as, as far as just in life, drunk story, right? I mean, everybody has those nights. I don't anymore. I'm in a happy, committed relationship. But everybody has one of those nights where they just have too much to drink, or they mix too many liquors, and Johnny, what's his name, at the end of the bar starts looking really, really good. And then you start to have that conversation with him about like, let's go home together, where do you want to go? So there was one time where I didn't have access to my apartment because I was living on Roosevelt Island, and the F train wasn't working and the tram wasn't running because it was like 5 in the morning, and he couldn't get into his apartment because he had friends crashing in his bed. And so we were like, what are we gonna do? And of course, not thinking coherently, we were like, oh, let's go do it on the 59th Street Bridge. Sounds great. So that was not my brightest moment, but I'll never forget it.
Sorry, fellas, he's in a relationship.
Not with that guy. No. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me tell you a drunk story of mine.
Great.
Back in the day, I used to work in a gay bar. I'm straight, by the way.
Am I going to need a drink for this?
Probably. I was working in a gay bar, and actually, this might have been before I started working there, but okay. And I got there's only one bathroom working that day. The other bathroom wasn't. So I ended up getting drunk at a Spanish bar, walked to my friend's house, then, and my friend's house was underneath, was above the gay bar. So I stopped at the gay bar first to take a piss, to have a drink, and to take a piss. And the next thing I know, I woke up in my friend's house at 5 in the morning. Like, how did I get here?
Great job.
And then I heard through the grapevine that I passed out underneath the toilet with the doors locked, with one bathroom not working, so people had to leave. They had to use the bathroom.
People had to leave
Eventually
or pee
they had
in the
to
sink.
jimmy the door, and they found me half naked under the sink. At least that's what they told me. Hopefully half of it is a lie, but maybe not.
Probably not, no. That actually reminds me of, we have a mutual friend of ours, Big Bald Man, who I have, back when he lived at his old apartment, he gave me like 5 too many shots, and I had a similar situation. You just jogged my memory of where I just threw up all over his bathroom, and he had no idea. I mean, I cleaned it up, and then like it was like a week later, I was meeting him for a drink, and he said, you know, I just can't understand why my bathroom just reeks of vomit. And I was like, I have no idea. I don't know. So good times, very, very, very good times.
Well, the whole point of this segment of the show is to be therapeutic, to get it out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy I'm admitting these horrible things that I've done.
To those of you watching, I want this to be therapeutic, and we all been in that situation where we wake up the next night, go, oh, what did I do? Did I shame myself? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. We all do it. Models, comedians, we all have drunk stories.
My next door neighbor the other day, just in the middle of the afternoon, I mean, of course, it was just Memorial Day weekend, the middle of the afternoon, probably around 3 o'clock, obviously just had too many at brunch, just passed out in the hallway outside of her apartment, like keys in hand, like phone and wallet in the other, just couldn't make it. Just couldn't make it. I spent like 30 minutes trying to wake her up. Yeah. Stay classy, America. Stay classy.
I got one more drunk story, and then hopefully we can do one more of yours, and then we'll finish up.
You're just assuming that I drink all the time and make a fool of myself every time.
Yes, I know you. We hung out quite a few times. One of my most funniest drunk stories was it was St. Patrick's Day. I dressed up as a leprechaun, got drunk.
This isn't surprising at all.
Had to take a train back to Queens at the time. So it's a weekday morning. I'm yesterday's leftovers, and I'm all dressed up as a leprechaun, and I had like leprechaun makeup on me, so it's basically like the makeup was running down my eyes, and I'm just sitting on the F train dressed up as a leprechaun, and we got people in suits. Nobody even minded me. Nobody even asked me anything. They're
just like, oh, you're that guy today. You are that guy today. Congratulations. Yeah.
So do you have one more story you'd like to share?
I do. I was in college, and it was my last week of college. And instead of going to my final exam for my history of religion class, 2 of my best girlfriends and I decided, let's just buy 2 big bottles of Tanqueray and go to Central Park and just drink it.
Nice.
I know that I wound up at a diner, I think probably Big Daddy's. I know that I took a nap on a toilet seat there, and I know that I woke up in one of my girlfriend's beds, but she was nowhere to be found. Yeah.
That was just scary.
It was a little scary. It's the only time I've really been that bad where I've woken up and been like, what did I do? Why am I in her bed? But she swore to me that nothing happened, so.
At least you weren't in some dude's bed in Jamaica,
true.
Queens.
That's, God, not Jamaica. Anywhere but Jamaica. Yeah.
Well, that's this segment of the Pepino Clemenza comedy show. Stay tuned, where I'm going to be doing a Welcome back to the Pepino Clemenza comedy show. So if I look familiar, it's because I am. I'm Danny DeVito's stunt double. Persian, Italian, and Greek. Thank you. I came out of my mother as a hairy olive. I used to work in a gay bar. I'm straight, by the way. But I had to leave the bar. The job was just too anal. So the other day, I was at this girl's house, and I had to take a shower. And she had nothing but female shampoo. So let me pick on somebody. What kind of shampoo do you use, ma'am?
Color Safe shampoo.
God damn. Well, I was using Herbal Essence. So, I was cleaning my body with Herbal Essence, so. The good news is my genital hair has no split ends. And plenty of bounce. So remember, next time you're with your girl or you happen to smell a girl's hair or a guy's hair, not to stay with girls' hair. Next time you smell a girl's hair and it smells like Herbal Essence, well, that's what my genitals smell like and my whole body. So, I'm going to give you the best advice on getting laid. This works for men and women. The best way to get laid is to do crack. You'll never hear a crackhead say no to crack. You want to get laid? Just give them crack. You're going to get laid. Hell, in 1990, Halle Berry and Samuel Jackson had sex doing crack. They did. It was in a movie. Forgot what movie it was. It's probably now. Jungle Fever, I think it was. So, if you want to get laid with Halle Berry, give her some crack. It's as simple as that. All right, that ends my comedy set, but we're not finished yet. Thank you. Now we're going to do a quick segment where I'm going to collect a couple of people's drunk stories. So, let me start with you. So, what's your drunk story, sir? You got a drunk story, sir?
Yeah. I was drunk.
Okay, get away.
My ex was Irish and black, so basically she was, just black, angry, iron liver. And I got pulled over, and the cop asked for license registration, and I was so drunk I gave him my registration and my debit card. And he tried to save me, gave it back to me, and I was like, oh, no, just put it on my tab. Yeah, he asked me to get out, and I'm just glad I'm still here. That's it.
And you're still alive.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Let's skip around a little bit. Sir, your drunk story?
Yeah, I go to court for it next week. I can't really talk about it.
That's enough of him. Ma'am?
Hi.
And your name?
I'm Samantha. So, can I show you what I did? Is that
Sure.
It's a very dirty audience. So I was really, really drunk because I went to this wine tasting, and I'm gonna age myself. They rented out the Limelight, and it was a work-related wine tasting, and all they had were like crackers, and no one was. I'd never been to one before. I'd seen them on TV, and I'm like, you drink wine, you spit it in a cup. But no one was spitting it out, so I'm like, oh, I guess we're not doing the spitting thing. So in about an hour's time, suddenly the spins hit me, and I'm like, oh, no. And I was living all the way down in Toms River, New Jersey at the time. So I'm like racing to the bus, like, you know, with my head probably sideways. I get to Port Authority. I get to the gate because the bus comes at midnight. And if I miss that bus, the next one isn't until 1. And I get there and I just missed the bus. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have an hour when you have the spins to stand in line. So I'm like, after, it felt like half an hour, it was probably about 3 minutes. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sit Indian style in line. And then a few minutes later, I'm like, I'm just gonna rest my head down, just rest my head. When I wake up, I just hear, someone should get that girl up. I am completely like as if I'm in the most comfortable bed ever, stretched out, sleeping on the floor of Port Authority bus terminal. But I did make the 1 a.m. bus.
Thank you very much. We got time for one more story. Sir, you have a story for us?
Yes. D. Williams. It was I was with my girlfriend for about 1 year. We're together 7 years now, but it was our first apartment. And I wanted to celebrate, you know, but I spent all my money on the apartment. So I had to go to Rite Aid, and I got like a 58, 68 pack of big cheap malt liquor beer, right? And I invited her girlfriend and her boyfriend over. There's another couple. And we finished off all the beers, and everybody slept over. The other couple slept over in the living room. So in my sleep, my girl woke up first, and she was like, what's this chocolate you've been eating in bed a lot? You been still eating in bed? I told you about my sheets and stuff. So I looked, and I said, oh, my God, I crapped on myself. Right? So before she could realize, I kicked them out. I kicked everybody out. Get out, get out, get out. And as I'm coming back up the stairs, it looks like a murder scene. Like I had shit handprints on the wall. Apparently, at night, I thought I went to the bathroom, and then there's just shit handprints all over the house.
Third burglar.
So I don't drink anymore. Yeah.
You're never sleeping in my house.
I could have said something, but this is local access TV, so. You said you're from Toms River. Oh, you lived there for a...
Lived there for 2 years.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Me too.
Well, that's the end of the Pepino Clemenza comedy show. Thank you for coming by and tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on our next show. Hi, welcome to the Pepino Clemenza comedy show, episode 2. We got a lively bunch here today. This is our stand-up episode. So we have a very special guest starting the show. Let's give it up for Mr. Muhsin Khan. Give it up.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Have you guys heard about the new taxi company called Uber?
Yeah.
Good. If you guys need a taxi tonight, I will be right outside after my set. Other day I was in a restroom and my boss is like, hey, are you doing cocaine in the restroom? I'm like, no, I don't do cocaine in the restroom. I do cocaine in my car. My grandfather used to smoke a lot and used to say, hey, grandpa, do not smoke too much, you can have problem. He never listened. And the good news is, one day he stopped smoking, and the bad news is, he died that day. He did not die, he's outside smoking right now. Do you guys love reading books? Yep, sure. Yeah, I do. I love reading books, but for the last 10 years, I have been reading a book. It is called Facebook. The more pages I read, the more pages they add. Got a haircut for this show. Hope you guys like it. Other day I went to a restaurant. It is called Five Guys Burgers. Five Guys. When I went inside, looked at the kitchen, saw only 4 guys. So I'm like, excuse me, what's going on here? Where is the manager? I have a small fish tank because I have a small apartment. If I have a bigger fish tank, then we have no place to sleep. You guys like Morgan Freeman? Yeah. Me too. If Morgan Freeman goes to jail, can you still call him Morgan Freeman? I am married. My wife is a good cook. For breakfast, she cooks chicken curry. For lunch, she cooks beef curry. And I hate curries. I think we have four kids. Actually, we have five kids. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are awesome.
Hi, Dave Hodge here. All right, yeah, woo! I'm a single parent from Jersey. I was raised Catholic. This year for Lent, I decided to give up women. I figured I'm not getting laid anyway. It's the perfect time to do something like that. Give a little bit for God, a little bit for me. It's a win-win situation. I'm all about them. Makes life a little more easier that way. Oh, man. Work with a lot of younger comics when I'm out here in the city, all over the place. You know, they like to go out. They like to get it in, as they say. The young kids these days like to go out, get it in. I'm in my 40s. The only way I'm getting it in is like half-price appetizers at Applebee's. You know what I mean? Only time I'm getting it in is when Fridays goes back with the all-you-can-eat appetizers. You know, that's how I get it in. I can't suck it in no longer. I was, like I said, I'm a single parent. It's kind of weird. Teenage son plays a lot of video games. Kind of old-fashioned. I grew up on Pac-Man. Pac-Man was the shit. 1 quarter, 3 men, done. Maybe you got an extra guy if you were lucky. You got kicked off right after that. My son, he sits on Xbox. It's for like 6-7 hours at a time. It's a never-ending saga. You know, I spend the money on the Xbox. You know what he does every now and then? He reverts back to, you know, this retarded game called Minecraft. It's an abomination of a game. Yes, I see there's some parents out there. It's an abomination of a game with these little Lego people with freaking bowl cuts on their heads. You know what I mean? All looking like Bruce Jenner. And I'm not talking Caitlyn, I'm talking sexy Bruce Jenner from the Wheaties box. Mr. Bowl Cut, cut it off right there. The Olympic hero Bruce Jenner, the one we want back. He might switch back, I heard. That's a whole nother story. We'll get back to that later. So yeah, my son, I try to bond with him, play some video games. You know what he does? He starts playing Madden with me. I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm used to one controller, Xbox controller, has 2 joysticks, 18 other freaking buttons all over it. No idea what I'm doing. So I just start mashing all the buttons. I'm a button masher. That's the only way I play games. That's what I do. Going back to Pac-Man, though, you know what the weird thing is? What was he doing? Running around, eating pretzels, chomping up on ghosts? You know what I'm saying? What was in those pellets? What kind of LSD, marijuana-laced stuff was in there? Why is he not listening to me? Pac-Man, go get that ghost. Like I said, my son, he's a teenager now. He hit puberty. A lot of fun for me around the house. Yeah. He recently did what all young men like to do. We nickname our penises. I named my One Eye Willie. I'm a fan of the Goonies. There's going to be a part 2. I hope, I could get a cut in there. But speaking of the Goonies, my son, he decided to come up and say, Dad, guess what? I'm like, what's up? He goes, Dad, you know, if you take your dick and give it a girl's name, you can marry it and then legally beat your wife. All right, thank you. That's my time. Take care.